Guys, thank you guys for joining me for our Sunday stretch class. So this is just going to take us through a few different exercises, some of which you would see at the studio, some of which are a little bit different for an at-home stretch workout. I know you guys have all been taking a bunch of classes lately, so this class is just really going to focus in on loosening up those muscles and the joints that are either tight from working out or tight from just being seated as we're in our at-home world. So all you need for this workout today is a chair. You don't need a mat. We're not going down to the floor at all. We're going to be seated or standing the whole time. And we're going to go ahead and get started. So we're going to start seated in our chairs, sitting up nice and tall. Feet can just be planted on the ground. Relax those shoulders down and just drape your arms wherever is comfortable. We're going to start this total body stretch series from our feet and then work our way up to our head. So we're going to go all the way from the bottom to the top. So to start off, I just want us to warm up the toes and the ankles a little bit. So you're going to take your one heel, pop it up off the ground, and then press it back to the floor and then switch. So just giving yourself that little heel pop. Your heel comes up off the ground a little bit. Toes stay pressing into the ground as you lift and lower that alternating heel up and down. Nice work. So nothing crazy to get started, just a little bit of mobility here, just to get warm as well. So we don't want to stretch cold muscles. We do want to get them a little bit of activation, so we're going to dynamically move them before we hold any of our stretches. A lot of our stretches too are going to be dynamic in nature, meaning that we're going to move and breathe through them, not necessarily just hold them still. Good, you guys, one more heel pop each leg. Good, now we're going to add a toe pop too, so you're going to lift your heels, then you're going to push your toes off the ground and then roll through the foot. So think like if we were on the reformers in a cardio sculpt class, pushing off that jump board nice and strong with those toes as if you were going to jump. Good, you guys. So taking your time here, thinking about your posture already, sitting up nice and tall, thinking about those sits bones pressing into your chair, thinking about activating your abdominals just a little bit as we lift and lower. Good, really working and articulating through all of the little tiny bones in our feet as we lift and lower. Good, you guys. One more time. Then these are going to turn into marches. So you're still going to work through the foot, but I want you to pull that knee up to your chest a little bit higher. If you'd like, hold on to the side of your chair for a little bit more support. If you feel up to it, scoot your hips forward towards the edge of your chair a little bit and hinge back a little bit so that you feel those earthquake abs activating, and then give me that marching there. So now we're getting the abs involved as well, thinking about lifting the knee from the abdominals, not just the hip flexors. Good, you guys. So nice big marches here. If you can handle it, bring those arms out in front of you. No hands on the chair, no support there as we get that body nice and warm. Good, you guys. You're here for 4, 3, 2, last one. Now you lift. Kick it straight, pull it in, and lower. You go lift. Kick out, pull in, and down. Good, lift. Extend, float in, and down. You've got it, lift. Extend, float in. One more time, each leg you lift. Extend, pull in, and lower. Last one, go lift. Extend, float in, and down. This time, lift one leg, extend it out, hold it there. Give me little circles of that ankle 5 times one way. And then 5 times the other. So that quad muscle should be nice and active as you hold that leg up. Those abs are engaged, that back is supported. When you've done your 5 each way, pull that knee in. Roll it on down, go the other way, kick it up. Extend, hold it there. 5 circles one way. And then 5 the other way. Good, you guys. Nice work. Hug it in. And walk that foot down. Perfect. Sit yourself on up a little bit. Extend one leg out in front of you, flexing that foot so the toes are up to the sky. We're going to do kind of like we would for a tree stretch, but we're going to take it to the floor instead. So scoot your hips to the edge of your chair so you have some room to move. We're going to walk, leading from our chest, hinging at the hips. You're going to walk your hands down your legs. Ready? Walk down for 3, 2, 1. Then walk back up 3, 2, 1. Go again, walking down, reaching towards those toes. 2, 1, and come up. 2, 3. You got it, walk it down. 2, 3. As you go up and down, you should feel more and more length at that hamstring. You should feel like you're able to reach closer to your toes. Lift it up. Last one, walk it down. 2, 3, and we're just gonna hold here, reaching towards those toes, keeping that chest open and lifted, shoulders are plugged. Taking 2 nice slow deep breaths here, breathing in through the nose, and then out through the mouth. Good, you guys, one more time, inhale. Then exhale, walk yourself back up. 2, 3. Nice work, go ahead and shake out, switch to the other side, so extend that opposite leg out. If you wanna extend both out, feel the difference between your right and left, go for it. Whichever leg you started with should feel a little bit longer. All right, ready? Sitting up nice and tall, hinging at the hips, keep those abs tight, walk those hands down for 3, 2, 1. Walk it up. 2, 3. You got it. Walk down. 2, 3. Walk up. 2, 3. Good. You guys keep going there. So you might notice one leg is a little tighter than the other. Again, that's always totally fine. Just make sure you notice those differences and we can use that to work through it. Good. And up. 2. 2 more times. Walk down. 2, 3. Gently up. This is your last one. You're going to hold at the bottom. Reaching for those toes, holding that stretch. Good, you guys. Nice slow deep breath in. Exhale, see if you can relax deeper into that stretch. One more time, inhale. And then as you exhale, walk up. 2, 3. Nice work. You guys shake those legs out a little bit. Going into a figure 4 stretch from here. So you want to scoot yourself back a little bit, back to the kind of the middle of your chair. You're going to cross one ankle over the opposite thigh, flexing that foot nice and strong, and just feeling that opening through the hips on that outer side and into those glutes. If this is an intense enough stretch for you, you're just going to hold here and you're going to breathe. If you like, you can take your hand to your thigh and encourage a little more opening there. Just remember, never pressing on the joint directly. Or if you need more release, reach your arms forward and dive forward, reaching about 1.5 feet in front of you, reaching on that angle. Then you can release the weight of your head down as we take this nice long stretch here. So breathing in through the nose. So all of these stretches we want to hold for a couple of slow deep breaths, exhaling to increase that range of motion, increase that stretch a little bit more. And you guys, one more time, inhale. And then exhale, gently bring yourself back up. And go ahead and uncross those legs, shake it out a little bit. We're going right to the other side. So flexing that foot, reaching those arms forward, hands to the thigh, whatever you need, and find that nice deep stretch. Making sure you're feeling that stretch through that outer thigh into the glute, maybe even into your piriformis, which is a super deep muscle into your glutes that tends to get tight on all of us. And you guys. 2 more breaths there. Nice slow deep breaths in and out. Exhaling to increase the range of motion, deepen yourself into that stretch. And then slowly bring yourself on back up. Push, guys, uncross those legs, shake it out a little bit. We're gonna come to standing now for a few exercises. So we're gonna come on up. You're gonna come around to wherever you need to be. So if you wanna stand beside your chair, behind it, whatever works best. I'm gonna turn my chair and stand behind it just so you guys can see me. So we're gonna start with a standing calf stretch. You have 2 options here. Number 1, you can take one foot behind you into a kind of nice short Eve's lunge. Just kind of a standing position. You want that back heel glued to the ground as you press forward into that front knee. Then from there you can bend and straighten that leg a little bit to feel those calf muscles, so your gastroc and your soleus releasing. If that's not hitting the spot for you, another calf stretch is using the back leg of your chair walk your ball of your foot up the leg of your chair, and then press your hips forward. You'll feel a nice release through the calf there. So wherever you are, we're just gonna hold. I'm gonna stay in this one. This one tends to work better for me personally, but again, try both and see which one gives you the better release at your calf muscle. And you're just gonna hold here for 5, 4, 3, 2, 1, and relax. Roll that ankle out, shake that calf out a little bit. Same thing other side. So either step that foot back, draw through that heel, press the weight forward, press your pelvis forward, and hold that stretch. You can bend and stretch a little bit at that knee, just so you feel those two calf muscles releasing. One's a little deeper than the other, so depending on how tight you are or where you're tight, will change where you feel that. Other option, walk your foot up and hold there. And guys, you always have the option too, if you need more time in any of these stretches or you want to do both calf stretches, just pause the video, do both. Hold like 20 to 30 seconds in each stretch, or hold like 2 to 3 or 4 deep breaths, depending on how long you're holding there, and how long your breath sequence is, and just use that to your advantage here. But you guys, just one more breath here. And releasing. Nice, you guys shake those legs out. Now we're going into a standing quad stretch. So I want you to stand up nice and tall using that chair or even a wall for support. You're gonna grab onto your ankle and you're gonna pull that knee back so it's in line with the opposite knee. So you don't want it to be too far forward. You wanna try to get in line and you wanna try to push your pelvis forward. That way you feel the stretch in the meaty part of your leg, so those 4 big quadriceps muscles, not pulling at your knee. If this is tough for you and you can't reach your foot, use a t-shirt or a blanket or a scarf to wrap around just like we would our magic circle at the studio, and use that to pull your leg up instead. And she is holding there for 3, 2, 1. Drop that leg down, shake it out. Same thing other side, so pull that leg in, holding onto that top of the foot or the ankle if you can. Pressing your pelvis forward, relaxing those shoulders down. Good, you guys. Feeling that stretch right again through the front of that quad, front of the thigh. So you have 4 big muscles running down that way that need some release. They do a lot of work all of the time, so they need a little bit of love, just like everything else does. And a little bit of a break. Good, you guys. One more breath there. And then go ahead and release that leg, shake it out a little bit. We're gonna go up into a little bit of a back release here. So we're gonna go to a standing child's pose. Depending on your range of motion, you can either do this at the top of your chair or down at the seat of your chair. But wherever you wanna be, you want hands pressing down just like they would on like the ballet bar at the studio. Then you wanna walk your feet back so that you're in that standing kind of 90-degree angle shape with your body. So your head and your tailbone are in one long line. Your abdominals are pulled in nice and tight, and you're feeling that release through your spine, through your shoulders, and maybe even into your hamstrings. So if you want to walk your legs back a little bit more, sending your booty back in space, you can. While we're here, we're going to do a little bit of a cat stretch. So now you're going to pull your belly button to the sky. You're going to press your hands down into your chair. Find that rounded shape at your spine. So head drops down, tail drops down. And then go back to your nice flat back, finding length at your spine. Go again, belly button to spine, press into the chair, lift to that rounded position, and then flatten back out from there. 2 more times like that, rounding up. And release. Good, last one. And release. When you're ready, gently walk your feet back in, roll those shoulders out. Nice work, you guys. I'm gonna spin my chair back around. We're going into a hip opener now. We've got an Eve's lunge. So we're gonna take ourselves, you're gonna scoot yourselves kind of to the middle of your chair. So just like we would on the reformer, we're getting that opening through the thigh and the hip. We obviously don't have the resistance here that we would get from the springs on the reformer, but we do get the support of the chair, which is kind of nice, versus doing this as just like a standing body weight lunging stretch. So you're gonna rotate your body so that you're facing the side of the room. You're gonna take, the one side is gonna be shoulder towards the back of your chair. So you want that leg resting on the seat of the chair. Your other leg is just going to be super mobile because that knee can drop down to the floor now to give yourself a nice big hip opening stretch. You can keep this leg bent, knee to the floor, hips are square, and you're going to feel, again, that hip opener in that Eve's lunge, even down into the quads. If you want to extend that leg back straight all the way, you can. Just make sure wherever you choose to be that your hips are square and your pelvis stays stable to the side. We don't want to rock open here. If you need a little more stretch wherever you are into that psoas muscle, so that nice tight giant muscle that runs up and keeps us upright, take same arm as back leg and reach towards the back of your chair, giving yourself that release into that psoas muscle. As you guys slow deep breaths, getting taller here, or just maintaining this nice, big, open, supported lunge. You've got one more breath wherever you are, and then gently bring yourself back through the center. We're going to switch to the other side, so hopefully you're feeling nice and open and released at that one side, so let's even you out. So again, support yourself. Thigh on the seat of the chair, foot planted to the ground, shoulder towards the back of the chair, and then you can reach that opposite leg, just let it fall, knee towards the floor, keeping those abdominals in tight. Or if you want to extend that leg straight, if that feels okay for you, opening up into that nice big lunge that's supported by the chair. As you guys, again, if you want that side body stretch, reach that same arm as back leg up, and then reach towards your chair as you come up and down. Make sure you guys holding that stretch wherever you feel like you need it. Take a nice deep breath in and exhaling. One more inhale and exhale. Good, you guys release that leg. Come on back to the center. We're going to go ahead and take another hip opener here and into our spine a little bit as well. So you're going to take your legs nice and wide, wider than your shoulders. You're going to scoot your booty towards the edge of your chair. Now we're going to open into those inner thighs. You're going to press your hands into the thighs and you're going to hinge forward just a little bit. If you have the range of motion, you can take your elbows to the insides of those thighs. Again, not on the knees, but into the muscular part of your legs. If you have the range of motion and want the release, hands to the floor, keep those knees open, and then you can drop the weight of your head down as well. If you need to bend the arms to really get into that groin release, into that spine release, feel free to take it. And we're just going to hold here for 5, 4, 3, 2, last one. Activate your abdominals. Use your hands to support you as you come back up to seated. Nice work, you guys. Go ahead and bring those feet back towards one another, either glued together, about hip distance apart. We're going to take a nice spinal rotation now. So I want you to take your one arm, cross it over to the opposite thigh, and then use your hand to the back of your chair to encourage a little more rotation here. So just like our spine twist exercise we would do, but now we're going to hold and find that release. So again, hand to the opposite thigh. Use the chair behind you to give you a little leverage if you need it. If you don't, just reach the arm, relax it. Whatever feels best. You can take your gaze back to the wall behind you as well as you find this release, this wring out the towel sensation. So take a nice deep breath in. Exhale, see if you can increase that stretch, grow a little taller as you do. And you guys, one more like that. Inhale. Exhale, grow taller and rotate. This time, inhale. And then exhale, relax, come out of that stretch. Let's go the other way. So hand to opposite thigh, to the outside of it. Use the chair if you need it to find that rotation. Opening through your chest. Keeping your spine nice and tall as we rotate. There's you guys. Then from there, take a nice deep inhale. Exhale, rotate that stretch a little bit more. Find that spiral at that thoracic spine, so right at your rib cage. 2 more times, inhale. Exhale, increase the stretch. Last one, inhale. And then exhale, come on back through the center. Nice, you guys shake out a little bit. All right, going into a modified mermaid stretch here. So you're gonna take one arm down by your side. You can hold the chair, you can just relax down. Opposite arm comes up to the ceiling. Sits bones are gonna stay glued. They're not lifting or shifting off of the chair, so keep those sits bones, that bony part of your butt, glued the whole time. Use that feedback that you can feel. Arm is up, you're gonna dive up and over, reaching to the wall to the side of you. That way we're feeling that release here in this side body stretch. Make sure, again, if you're lifting, you're shifting, you're gonna fall, you're not gonna get that same stretch. So heavy, heavy sits bones as you release over. Just come on back up, let's go the other way. Lift it up, dive it over. Find that heavy sits bone, reach it tall, reach it long from the tips of your fingers all the way down through the sits bone. And come on back up, go the opposite way again. Lift it taller as you dive, keeping those shoulders relaxed. And come on up. See if you can keep moving and keep utilizing your breath. So inhale as you pitch. As you dive and exhale, increase that stretch a little bit. See if you can get farther every round. We've got one more time each way, diving up and over. And back up. Last one. And up. Nice work, you guys. From here, we're going to take both hands. You're going to grab onto your chair behind you, and you're just going to pull your chest forward in space. So the motion looks like this. Your hands are behind you. Your gaze lifts, your chest pulls forward, but it's not a release at your low back. So your back stays stable at the bottom. It's just that big extension at the top as you lift and use that chair for a little bit of support. And then come back to neutral 2 more times like that, lifting up, pressing those hands into the chair for support, finding that nice extension, finding that opening through the chest and the fronts of the shoulders. And release, last one, open the chest, let the gaze follow, so don't let the head just drop back. Lift it tall, keep the line of the neck and the head and the chest together. As you guys, and back. From there, nice work. From there, let's go and take one arm across the body. Let's give ourselves a little release of the shoulders. You can wiggle those fingers. You can roll the wrists a little bit. You can even look over towards that shoulder you're stretching. As you're breathing here, keep those shoulders away from the ears. Make sure they don't creep up on you. And then let's reach out, go the other way. So find that crossover, wiggle those fingers, roll that wrist. Or if you want to look to the side, that's always a good option as well. And come on back to the center. From there, let's take one arm up to the sky. You're going to drop that hand behind your back. We're not going to arch at the back. We're going to keep our core tight and lifted as we feel this release through the back of that front arm or that top arm. If you need a little extra stretch, give a little push, give a little pull. If you're super mobile here, you have long arms like I do, you can grab your hands on the back to feel that stretch. But again, your core is tight. Your ribs are knit. We are not popping or arching at the spine. And you guys, other side, same thing. Take that hand up and back. Hold that first, see what you need. Do you need the push? Do you need the pull? Do you need the clasp behind the back? Slow, deep breaths here. And after your next exhale, go ahead and release those arms down. From there, sitting up nice and tall, just comfortably on your chair. We're going to release at that shoulders and the neck as we start to finish up. So I want you to take one here, drop it down towards your shoulder. Feeling the side of the neck release. maybe even into those traps a little bit. So if you're someone that holds tension up at the trapezius, up at the top of your neck or the base of top of your shoulders, this is going to be a nice release for you. If you need a little more stretch, take that opposite hand and just let it fall down by your side away from your chair. That's going to give a little bit more weight from the arm pulling down, and it's going to give a little more release at the trapezius. If that's too much, keep that hand supported by your thigh or the chair. If you need a little bit more of a stretch, same arm. So the direction your head is to your shoulder. That arm comes up overhead and it just rests on the top of your head. So if your right ear is to your right shoulder, your right arm is resting, or right hand is resting on your head. If you need a little bit more into the back of that neck a little bit, take your gaze down toward your shoulder. Try to smell your armpit here, and you'll feel that stretch shift just slightly in this position. And then when you're ready, retrace your steps. So take your gaze back to the front, release your hand, then bring your head up, shake out a little bit. We've got to do the other side now. So again, grow tall, release ear to shoulder. Once you're there, if you want to drop the weight of that opposite arm down, please do. And again, each side's going to feel a little different, so don't feel like you have to get to the same position on both sides. Do what each side of your body needs today in this moment. Go ahead and take your hand to the top of your head if you need it, just resting it there, no cranking, no pulling. And if you need that extra release, smell the armpit, rotate chin to shoulder, and find that release there. Good, you guys. One more breath wherever you are holding this stretch. Then retrace your steps. Look forward. Release the hand. Come back up from there. Just relax your hands to your thighs. Go ahead and give me a nice big head roll around. So ear to shoulder, nodding chin to chest, ear to opposite shoulder. And then remember on this one, chin to the sky, not back of the head to the floor. You want to release that stretch through the front of the neck, not compression at the back of it. So you guys, one more nice slow head roll around that direction. And then we're going the opposite way. If you feel any sort of knots or kinks or tightness, feel free to hold your stretch there and just breathe into it. Don't feel like you have to continue to move through it. And bring yourself back up. Good. From there, last little thing before we take some final breaths, we're going to take a few shoulder rolls and arm rolls each direction. So give me a few shoulder circles to the back, just releasing those trapped muscles, those trapezius muscles that we just stretched. And then go ahead and roll those shoulders to the front. Turn those into arm circles, so reach those arms forward and back. You can leave the chest with facing front, or you can move the spine and the chest with you. So as you reach the arms forward, you can give a little round at your back. Then you can lift the chest up, a little bit of explosion. Think like toss the flowers, because you guys know that's my favorite. And then go ahead and go the other way. So lift your chest, scoop those arms forward. Think like a butterfly swim in the pool. Lift it up, and then pull the abdominals in as you round it slightly forward. Last one, lift up and back down from there. Just reaching those arms out to the side, lifting up nice and tall on a nice deep inhale. Exhale, growing tall to let it out. 2 more times like that. Nice slow deep breath in. Exhale, grow tall, expel all the air that you can. Last one, inhale. Exhale, let it out. Shake out any tension you may still be feeling in your body. And we are all done. Nice work, you guys. Thank you guys for joining me for that 30-minute total body stretch. I hope you guys feel nice and long and lean and ready to go. If you guys have any questions, feel free to leave them in the comments. Otherwise, we will see you guys soon. Bye.